Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Ben here, and in front of you is my new HPI Trophy Flux buggy. HPI Flux Trophy buggy, I should say. And this is a review and first impressions of it, because I only got it yesterday. And it has only been outside one time, and that was just to test the gap between the pinion and the spur gear. And to make sure, I was pushing it along inside and it seemed a bit tight, but outside it seemed to run okay and it didn't sound too tight. So basically this is an 1 1/8 scale buggy, and you've got 17-inch hexes on the wheel nuts. Keep the wheels on. You got a nice buggy shell with really nice decals. I put a few on myself actually. You got a big rear wing on it, rear spoiler you could say, rear wing, rear spoiler. It could already do with a clean. And you've got big bore oil filled shocks on it. And I've put some caps on it to make the ride height a bit higher. Let's have a look at the back of it, and you can see the big bore anodized aluminium at the top, and I think it's all the way down shocks. This buggy is fairly heavy, so I'll put it down soon. It's also got sway bars. Right, let's put it down a sec. You can see the sway bars there. That's the left hand rear sway bar. You can see there, which is, if I can get my thumb up, which is what? It's there. That's the sway bar there. This is to improve the handling of the car. Stiffens the rear end up, basically. Right, I'll take the hood off, the shell off, and I'll show you the innards of it. Standard, completely unmolested example. I didn't actually have to bind the transmitter to the receiver on this either. It's already bound. Right, that's it. That's that off. Right, so the inners. First of all, you got the receiver, which is actually in the HPI receiver box, with a pin through it there, a body clip through it to hold it down, and then obviously it's got an antenna, but I've left it in the box because nowadays you don't really need it outside. And you can see there the meshing between the pinion and the spur gear. I think it's got something like a 15 tooth pinion and a 65, 75 tooth spur on it. I haven't looked into this that much, to be honest, so bear with me. I think it looks about a 60, it looks about a 70 tooth. So it's either 65 or 75, I would say, but I could be wrong. And it's got anodized aluminium things all around it, as you can see. There's the motor mount, and it's a nice orange. It looks red, but that's actually orange because the flash is on. That's right. You see there, that's orange. The flash is on it. Whenever the flash is on something, it look kind of actually really is. And you've got the spur gears up here. Where my fingers aren't actually in the right place. I can't touch it because it's actually quite in there. I mean, my finger's right in there and I can't touch the spur gear. I can touch from that side though. And down the centre you've got the you've got the prop shaft or the main drive shaft, which makes it four-wheel drive essentially. Right, simple as that. Then you've got the motor, which is a 1965 kilovolt motor. I'm just trying to think of the make of it at the moment. I'll say at the back, I can't remember what it is. The make of it. I can't get my camera that far back. Scream is the make of this motor, but it's probably rebadged cast or something, but who knows, I'm not sure, to be honest. Then similar to my old EB4, we've got anodized aluminium at the front here as well, to keep it nice and sturdy at the front. And then I put the batteries in it, but I had out of my Thunder Tiger EB4, which are 400 milliamp hour 2-cell batteries, and this is a 4-cell car. That's standard, but it can be upgraded to 6-cell or even 8-cell if you want to be absolutely really mad. If you want to go mad on it. Right, and then you got here, the speed controller is under all them wires, and I don't think I'm gonna really. You can go and actually see it. If you look there, move them out the way. Out of the way. There's the speed controller. Yeah. It's a decent speed controller. So it's a Rage 80 amp ESC in it. And it has 2 Dean's connectors as standard that come off this, rather than the usual one. And then you have to use a series link to hook 2 batteries up to it. It's got 2, which came to my surprise yesterday when I received this car. I didn't do anything yesterday because of my sleep pattern being so abnormal. I mean, I'm making this video at 6 in the morning, so that's how stupid it is. Yeah, and at the front you just got your normal, I think they're just normal drive shaft, or I can't tell if a DVD or drive shaft, or DVD drive shaft or normal drive shaft, because I can't see in the hole, because it's got so much plastic in the cup here. You look at how much plastic is there. There's no way it will fall off. You can't see in there. You can't see the other end of the drive shaft. I mean, I can't anyway. Some little kid probably can. I can't. And then, yeah, you got a servo. Right, you got the steering servo here, which I don't think it's a digital one, but it seems to be fast enough. So I did take it out last night in the back garden, but this was only for like a few minutes just to make sure the meshing between the pinion and the spur is okay, really. And it seems fine. And I mean, I made it go as slow as I could, and it literally just took off, making it go as slow as it possibly can go. So I would say this is actually going to be faster than my Thunder Tiger EB4 on 4S, but I sold because it had too many problems with it. I made that happen though. Unfortunately, I didn't treat it with enough respect. With these kind of machines, you got to drive properly, and I'm on a narrow country lane here, so it's hard to get full throttle without crashing it, basically, or at least rolling it. Yeah. So yeah, I had to put, this is the main thing to do so far, what I had to do so far was put the rear spoiler on, and this involved putting nuts in a bit underneath the rear spoiler, in, let's try and show you, right, in, where I'm looking, it's always a different place to where it looks like there's a gap there. If you look on the left and the right, just forward, you can see a little place that it's in a recess. If you put, that's where the nuts go. Then the screws go as so. But these are plastic. Where's my hand compared to the? It's an annoying film on my phone, I tell you. Like these things here, and I did it up with an Allen key, and HPI stupidly supplied me with a Allen key that's probably a 0.5 or 1mm Allen key, and that required a 1.5mm Allen key, which luckily I had. So I tightened up. It was only hand tight until I found the Allen key, which I thought I'd lost. Yeah. So, oh yeah, these batteries are Eternity 400 milliamp hour, as I said, and the discharge rate is 60 C, and it is going to be a 120 C burst, because if the discharge rate is 100 C, it would be 200 C burst. You basically double it for the burst rate, which is only for a matter of seconds. Like its actual peak, like the peak power, which won't last ever, basically. And that the motor is, it looks pretty big. They are pretty big on 4 so upwards cars. In lengthwise, they're pretty much the same. The roundness is the same size as a standard motor, such as one out of their HPI Sprint. I mean, that actually looks a bit thicker, doesn't it? That compared to that, it's hard to tell. Yeah, but this that's a Castle 5700 kV. That shifts when it's working. But unfortunately, it needs a bit of work doing. I've got a HPI Firestorm, a HPI Sprint, converted pretty much to a Sprint 2, and now I've got HPI Strafey Flux. So that's 3 HPI cars in my bedroom, or garage, as I should call it. Really, I should build a garage for it. If I had the room, I would, but as you can see, there ain't much room in there for doing anything. My clothes are all over the floor. It's not good. Yeah, so yeah. Another thing is the transmitter. It's a bit tame considering what you've got as a car. This is the transmitter that comes with it, and it's a HPI TF11, sorry. It's got controls for it's got well, basically it's just got the basic stuff, trim for the steering and the throttle, but it has got frequency hopping spread spectrum, which is useful here because where I live there's a lot of interference. Actually overrides radio control car stuff. I don't know if people run CU radios or what they're doing, but it is very annoying because a radio control car, if you go over a certain distance, it will just run away from you. And I tried 3 radio control cars on this, and they all did the same thing until I bought an HRC Cougar transmitter and receiver. Then all was fine. Weird as that. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now because it is getting a bit long, and I've basically said all that I need to say. And remember, that rear spoiler was a bit of a nightmare to get on, and I have already modded, stiffened the suspension up by adding these little things that come with it to make the suspension more stiff, heighten the ride height a bit.